Hi, and welcome back to another video for CS 4350 Game Engine Design at Ohio University. In this video, we're going to be covering my final project called the Abyssal Navigator. It is a first-person exploration game that is built inside the AftrBurner engine. The goal is to find the extraction beacons in a very dark environment using sonar, temporary radar scan, and 3D precision audio. So some of the basic gameplay is that the player starts by clicking into the game. The movement is WASD controls, and then to look left or right, you have to move the mouse left or right. I added all these controls myself, and I thought it helped the game a lot with these controls, or make it a lot more fun, enjoyable to play. The objective is to locate these extraction beacons, and then when you reach them, the beacon will relocate somewhere in the terrain, so the game becomes a repeated navigational challenge. So the reason I did this is because when I first got the first one implemented, where you can collect the first one, I was like, hey, what should I do in order to make this better? And so one of the things that I thought of was to allow the user to keep playing, keep spawning the extraction point randomly, allow the player to keep playing it, and keep collecting the extraction points as much as they want to. Now, I also kind of added in a hard mode when you collect after you collect the third one, and that's really cool. So I'm gonna get into that once I get into the gameplay. The sonar, when I was building it, it's not just a user interface effect. It actually changes the gameplay state, and I made a custom gameplay state for that. So it changes the light intensity, radar visibility, and some of the audio feedback all at the same time when you press P. The effect fades using a timer so that the world returns back to darkness after the ping, which also makes the navigation challenge. I also don't have any constant markers in here, so when I first made the radar, I first had a constant marker of the radar, and after a while, I decided that it made it too easy for the user, and to really build that thrill and that horror aspect of the darkness in the abyss, I decided to take out the radar after 7 seconds, after the ping. So when you ping it, it shows up for a brief, 1 or 2 seconds, and then the radar stays on. So you can use the radar then to look around and try to find the extraction point. And once you do that, after 7 seconds, the radar will go away, and then you're in complete darkness. So then you're using 3D positional audio. So that was a really cool part of mine. So the third party things I used were Urkline, which is implemented. PhysX is implemented, but I didn't really use it too much in this. I used Pixel Bay. It's like a website. I got a lot of the royalty-free sounds off of that one. So like when the extraction point has a ping, I got from there. The monster. You get a little fun about in a second. I have footsteps for him. It's like that. So, and I also have the radar ping got thing for that. And then I also got the 3D monster from CG Trading. It was a royalty-free monster I found. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. So you first click to start, and then you first start off with B. So as you see, shows up the sonar ping, and all the green dots are trees that I made. It's 3D model I made in Blender. So as you can see the GUI down below tells when the ping will be ready, and all the GUIs I made in AftrBurner's ImGui implementation. So as you can see, once you collect an extraction point, you get a just noise that plays when you collect it. I have like a wind background sound that I added to kind of build like the ominous kind of vibe to this game. So this is like easy mode of the game. Now when I get into, once I collect the third extraction point, the game kind of changes into a horror thrill aspect. And this is what I like to call hard mode. Hard mode is now you have an enemy chasing you, or as I like to say, a monster. So as you can see, there's a danger GUI at the bottom now, and you can see the red dot on the radar is the enemy. So I got the 3D model for the enemy off of CG Trading. It was a royalty-free enemy, and it is super cool. And those are the footsteps of the monster right there in the background. Slow down here. So, and then once you collect the 5th extraction point, that is when you have beat the game. There you go. It says thanks for playing. And now you can keep playing. It will respawn the extraction point somewhere, just so you can keep playing, keep having fun. And that was a big part of the game for me, was doing that so people can keep enjoying the game even after you beat it. So I'm going to collect one more, and then I'm going to show off the monster. Turn around here. There's the monster right there, and if you recognize the model, it's actually a Demogorgon from the TV show Stranger Things. If you watch that show, it's a very good show. I recommend highly. There's the monster right there. So I'm just gonna let it show when he comes and gets you. So once he comes and gets you, then it says you were left in the abyss. You have to click to restart. And also something I didn't show off was the pause. So pause is Q, and when you hit Q, you resume, restart, and that's it. Kind of just like a quality of life kind of thing I added. So basically, after I added, I got the basic function of the game done. I was like, hey, what can I do to make this better? I added enemies. I added the thank you for playing after the 5th one, and it really adding the enemies really makes it from a horror game to a navigation game to a horror thrill game. I had someone play test this earlier today, and when they were playing, they saw the monster. They full on jumped out of their boots. I thought it was kind of funny, but I feel like that also meant like I did a pretty good job. So I felt pretty happy about that. Some of the inspiration for building this project was I love playing video games. I love playing video games. I love making video games. This is maybe my 5th, 6th video game I've made while I've been learning here at Ohio University. And this one kind of was inspired by the mobile franchise game Five Nights at Freddy's. In Five Nights at Freddy's Dislocation, which is the 5th installment of that series, there's kind of a get level like this where a camera snaps, and then there's like animatronic, and it's like a ballerina animatronic, and you kind of have to navigate through using the camera snaps, and that's kind of what this game is like. And so that is my game. Um, that is basically it, and I upload everything to the GitHub, so you should be able to play it as a module inside the AftrBurner engine. And I recommend playing the game with headphones, as I said at the beginning. Super fun. Hopefully you enjoy it. I enjoyed making it, and thank you for watching. This is my 4350 came into sign final project. See you next time.